The Spoken Token is a proud member of the Pod Studio One podcast network. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome into the big show. I am Larry Neal.
Hey, and I am Alex Wallace.
And we are the Spoken Token podcast. Mr. Alex, sir, how are you doing?
I'm feeling a little weird. My intro, I got the timing right with you, but I went a little Russian. It was weird.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
No, it was a beautiful thing.
Oh, you think it was a beautiful thing?
Yeah, I'm probably going to cut and paste that one from now.
Just, I am Alex Wallace.
No, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
So weird.
So, hey, man, we are midway through the big holiday season. I think.
The big, yeah.
But we are now into December.
Oh man.
Christmas time. Man, boxes and games and stuff and boxes.
Yeah, you have more boxes now than I think you will have after Christmas. So
that's how that should work. I'm looking to move, so yes, sir. I'm packing up the place, and so yeah, that's why there's a lot of boxes. It's gonna be more.
Yeah, but even when I'll
be calling.
I literally walked up to your door and there was a new a new box of board game. Like you.
See, now someone else has seen it. Stuff just shows up.
You know what? You know what I'm thinking?
I can show you my phone. I'm not kidding. I got no notice.
You are like an episode of The Twilight Zone where like that guy who wanted all he wanted was all the books. And then
there's time now.
Yes, and then he breaks his glasses. This is what I feel like. You're like, I want that game, and I want that, and you're like, I can't get out.
So there's no shipping notice.
Yeah, all right. Well,
and you got it. And what's crazy is because of my work schedule today, and if we hadn't been recording today, we're recording on a Sunday, I would not have gone out there anytime soon. And I'm expecting the notice is most likely going to hit me probably tonight. Well, this afternoon, probably about 5:30. Normally at 6.
Let you know that's there.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I would have gotten up and checked at that point, but it's like, dude, for real.
I feel for the person who steals off your front porch. You know, they're like, man, he's always getting in big boxes. I'm gonna get me one of them. And they open up. Yeah. What is this? What is this? It's a box with a farmer on it.
I do too if I catch him.
Yeah. Well. No, but I mean, think about it. Like, you know, so many these porch pirates, they're stealing things. Like at the point it's kind of.
You know what? I would have been livid on this one.
Yeah, it's true.
This is Final Girl.
Yes,
I finally got my copy of Final Girl, so
it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I would be typically. I mean, I would be a little put out. I'm being completely honest. I'm not just saying
don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, because of Micah's Zone. I would be a little put out, but my honest thought would be I legitimately hope they enjoy it. I'm gonna get another game. Yeah. I'm gonna get a game. I legitimately hope they enjoy it, and I really, more than that, legitimately hope they stop stealing stuff from folks. But since they stole this, honestly, I hope they get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
That would be my understanding.
That's a weird take. You know, but like, okay.
I mean, what's the point of me getting worked up any other way about it?
That's true. But so you're basically like, you know what? If it brings another person to the hobby.
Well, I don't know if we want that particular person in the hobby until they get some other stuff straight. But no, seriously, and I seriously mean that. Because, I mean, yeah, that for me.
I'm sure that they would be good at, like, bluffing and lying games.
Good point, though. There's no reason to me using that negative energy, you know? And again, like I said, in any circumstance, it doesn't matter. It could be my copy of whatever grill game I'm after that I finally went on and splurged on that can't easily be replaced or may never be replaced.
Yeah.
I would be a little put out.
You know what would probably happen?
The same thing.
What would probably happen?
I hope they enjoy.
You get one of those games, and then it gets stolen off your porch. 2 days later, it comes back, and it goes, "I don't know how to play this. It's too many rules."
To which I hope I catch them that time.
Yeah,
like, I will legitimately teach you because we're gonna learn how to play games.
That's why you in prison,
and we're gonna talk about you not stealing. I'm gonna give them a chance. Everybody deserves a chance. Hey, man, you know what? We can't have game night at my house just yet.
Let's meet to the
we'll meet up. We'll go down to Game Point and meet down there. So, hey, man, with Christmas coming, and I know this is our big episode. For me, you know, it's funny how we do things. And this is one of those things that's internal. And I hope people get excited about it. I know I sure do. But this is the List of Lists episodes.
List of Lists.
And it's so funny because the name came through, you know, because everything, you know how I am. Got to have names for everything. And that first year we did it, when we put this one together that first time, I'm looking at all these lists. I'm like, what am I going to call it? It's this big list of lists. The light went on. I heard the snap. I said, that's what it is. It's the show that's the List of Lists.
Your creativity just
it was great.
Blows my mind.
It was great. I blew my own mind with that.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
I know.
The bar is set so high.
He don't care at all, y'all. He's just twisting the knife right now. I'm so hurt. He's kicking. I'm in the corner down already. The ref has called 10 and he is still kicking. It's like he stopped moving an hour ago, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah.
not finished.
He thinks List of Lists is a really creative name. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to stop kicking you. Let's go ahead and move into the show.
I like that. Hello, and welcome to the Spoken Token Podcast, this time episode number 102. Join us for our annual List of Lists episode, and this is where our hosts will give their takes on all things gaming related for the holidays, from games to play, give, and buy accessories for. Then, they even get in a super good top 3 from all those lists, plus the return of the Spoken Token Naughty and Nice list, which you do not want to miss, and so much more. So, sit back, relax, tap that foot switch and light up the tree and turn us up as we join your hosts, Alex Wallace and Larry Neal.
And we're back for our first List of Lists. It's the holiday List of Lists Extravaganza show.
Man, it's like Christmas morning.
That's
and
right.
You got some sweets and all those Christmas gifts all bottled up, and then you ate it in a piece of candy, and you got sugar and caffeine. Wow! Just used all my
Is this what it's like listening to me all the time?
I just used all my energy.
I've noticed. That was as Larry is now coming down from his speed high. Wait a minute, is that accurately what little Larry was like on Christmas morning?
Inside.
Oh, okay. So, but you were super stoic on the outside?
No. But I wasn't quite at that level.
Did you like sit there and just like kind of hunched over and like
yes,
and just
true
jitter
story.
and
True story. I got sick like the first probably about I'm gonna say from about 5 till maybe 6, 7 maybe. So about 2 years there. My mom did everything in her power to not let me get too excited because I would get sick. I was like in a hospital sick.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I would get sick, and it turned out it probably was just me just getting just hyper excited. So my mom, and even we put the tree up. My parents tried to pace things out. October we break the lights out and check them, and it was a legit thing. Mm-hmm. And my dad needed to know, back then it was a thing. But my mom knew we got to do that. Early October, away from Halloween. When we get them out, we check them, and then we put them up. Because that all of that stuff was contributing to it, of course. And then I would get, you can ask my sister, I would get sick. So I was like, and that's what it was on the inside. It really is. But I wouldn't be quite that level on the outside. I'd just be looking and taking it in. I didn't know how to express it yet. That's how young I was. But I would be, I would get so excited. I love Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
I love it. And these lists are just great. Because they're lists of lists.
They are. It's a list of lists. So the first list on the list, does it have a name, Larry? Does it have a name?
What?
The first list on our list?
Whatever you named it.
I didn't name the list.
Yeah, your own list.
Oh, okay. Oh, because it's right. I do actually. I have multiple lists, don't I?
Yeah, yes, you do.
All right. Well, this first part of the show, Larry and I are going to kind of walk through several different lists of games that we think should be on your radar this holiday season.
Yes.
To either ask Santa and or... Oh, my goodness gracious.
I said 5 minutes.
I feel like I need a squirt bottle to just go. So these are some lists that we think of games for particular reasons you should be on the lookout for, maybe even asking for Christmas, or using your Christmas money afterwards if you get something or gift cards or whatever. So these are things to kind of put on your radar.
Yes.
So my first list, and I'm going to move pretty quickly. I might park on one or two games.
Yeah, because these are big. These are kind of long. So
yeah. So, but my first list is these are games to consider if you're someone who you've already got a pretty solid collection, but you want something new. So I called it the new hotness list. Okay, because that's what Larry likes to use. What's the hotness, right? You use the hotness. Is that a term you use?
I use new and shiny this time.
New and shiny, but you use this. What's the new hotness?
I don't really care.
I think you use that term.
I don't care for that.
Okay, but he's used that term. You've heard it. But okay, so here is my list of the new hotness. Deep breath. Here I go. And for ones I think you need explanation, I'll explain. But so first on my list is Unfathomable. Unfathomable. So Unfathomable, it's the re-implementation of Battlestar Galactica. Next up is Cubitos. Cubitos. Cubito.
Yo.
Let me try that. Here we go. Warm up the mouth. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather.
Okay.
Cubitos. Cubitos is a dice rolling racing game, kind of akin to Quarriors because the dice stay the same, but you can interchange the cards to give different powers and everything like this. A lot of fun, cool colors. It's got kind of a humor. It has a humor. Whatever a humor means. Next up, we have Hero Quest. So this is the much anticipated, long awaited re-implementation. That's not even re-implementation. It's a reprint, is it? I think
it's pretty much a straight reprint.
Yeah, it's a straight reprint.
It almost made one half of my list that we're gonna do.
It actually is on my list for the list down there.
It wasn't gonna go on that half.
Yeah. No. It's on the other half.
Yeah.
But so Hero Quest
go on the other half.
Hero Quest. So if you are someone who wants to say that you own Hero Quest, now is the time. It is finally hitting retail for the first time in 20 or 30 years.
Oh, it's probably been longer than that.
Yep. So this is.
Did you get a copy?
No, I'm never gonna copy. But so this is the kind of the granddaddy of all board game dungeon crawls. So that's Hero Quest. Next up, from our good friends at Van Ryder Games, we have Final Girl. This is based off of the Hostage Negotiator.
I wanted to add that one, but because it is available, but I haven't played it yet. And then of course mine showed up today.
Again, mine's the new hotness. I've not necessarily played actually any of these.
No, because it just got here.
Yeah, yours is right there.
It's still in shrink.
But Final Girl, if you are a solo player, this is right up there for you.
It is, because it's
based on the
Hostage Negotiator. That game is fantastic.
Yeah. So moving on, this is my next game is Oath. Oath by the guys that brought you Root. Oath is a
list goes on forever.
It does. Hey, but I did my research this time. But Oath is a game with a memory. Basically, what you're doing is you are running your kingdom, and it's not necessarily a legacy game, but it has legacy components.
Okay.
As you play, things manipulate, things change, and then you have to pack the board up the way in its current game state. So apparently, I've seen a lot of people singing its praises. It's a hefty box with a big price tag. But again, that's if you've got a consistent gaming group. Next is for the masses. This is World of Warcraft: Wrath of the Lich King Pandemic. So this looks really promising. I actually have a copy on the way. And so what's interesting about this? It is similar to Pandemic. I mean, it is a pandemic system, but it is not similar to any of the other pandemics. It's more about you have individual heroes that have abilities, kind of like what you can do in Pandemic, but it has a lot more akin to what you're doing in World of Warcraft. So I'm excited, especially this is something great for someone who likes the IP or, kind of those light to middleweight gamers who want a little bit of fantasy flavor, but with sort of a traditional
it's one of my
game mechanics.
In this flavor, which is the World of Warcraft, is probably going to end up going on my Grail, and I hate to put it on my Grail box because I know how hard it's going to be to get. But the coffin box version of the adventure game that Corey Knizia worked on.
Yeah.
The year I got StarCraft, it was also on sale for $25.
I know.
And I bought $25 worth of other crap because, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying because I remember that bill was like $57, and at the time that was a pretty big expenditure for me. But I had more money to spend. Yeah, I could have spent $100, but I remember I got StarCraft, and then I got $50 worth of other crap because I had them both in there, and I was like, oh man, they take up, I had $100. I said, man, it's $50. That's half of it all together. Mm-hmm. Oh man! And so at the last minute, and again, the reason why I did it is because it had all those different expansion packs, which are the characters. Yeah. Once I put it in, I had filled up almost like $80 because I had it and every expansion that they still had in print.
Oh, good. Oh man, you'd be a rich man right now. So next up on my list is Picture Perfect. This is a really cool, unique thing. I kind of put this in my convention list a couple of episodes ago, but basically what you are doing, this is an incomplete information game. You are trying to move people around and fit them into a particular picture based on their certain desires and needs, and you'll pass information around. You won't have all of it, and then you'll score points based on that. It looks really, really exciting. This next one is called Dungeon Party. So it's sort of akin to, what's the one where you had the dice?
Yahtzee.
No, not Yahtzee. Yice.
Whoa.
Not Yahtzee. Let's call
Kind
it.
of like that name.
Yeah,
You need to write that down.
Dungeon Fighter is the name. So this is where. So ultimately, it's a humorous game, but you have coasters that you're trying to flip and move, and it has a little bit of not Discworld, but what's the disc battling game that you would flip? I think AEG
Pogs?
did it. Not Pogs. Oh my gosh.
My bad.
Oh, Pogs. Regardless, Dungeon Party. It's got fun, dexterity-esque. Next up, this one's kind of for you. It's Civilization in a Box. It's called Clash of Cultures. So this is a reimplementation. No, it's a second. It's a revised edition, I think. Yeah. So it came out this year based on the original. I mean, this is city building, tech trees. I mean, it's your straight-up Civ builder. So super excited about that one. If you like long games with conflict and building up all the stuff. Next up, I had to take another breath. This is a long list. So Land versus Sea. This is 2 to 4 player Carcassonne. But basically what you're doing is it's built for 1v1 or 2v2. So you are the land or the sea, and you're placing tiles and trying to interact that way. So if you like Carcassonne, this is a little bit more manageable, specifically at 2 players. Next one, this one made me think of you, Larry. This is called Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, I'm going to get a copy of that, I see.
Hadrian's Wall is a roll and write that has more symbols and boxes and things that I have ever seen.
I don't think I like where this is going.
Hadrian's Wall is probably, if you like really, really complex games, I think this one is going to be for you. But here's the kicker.
I choose to take it as a compliment.
It is a roll and write. So you have your paper, you get to mark things off and do all that kind of things. So that's Hadrian's Wall. Next up is Cascadia. Cascadia is kind of a mid to lightweight set collection, hex-based game. And then finally on my list, Ryan Lucat's Sleeping Gods. So this is an adventure game where I guess you'd consider it a legacy-style game, but you are moving through kind of a Cthulhu-esque sea adventure. Cthulhu-esque. But I have seen so many things about it. I would never be able to play this because I just did the groups that I frequent or play with. But
you can work them up to it.
Right. So this is Sleeping. It's Ryan Lucat. Of course, you've got his signature art style and, just his great game design, but it's a narrative adventure. All right. So that is the new hotness for anyone who's looking to buy things for people or for yourself that just came out. And
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I'm fine with that. I like that. That's not the way I wrote mine down, but there's no law that says I have to read them the way I wrote them. Since you went new hotness, I'll jump to my new and shiny list.
Oh, the new and shiny. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the same thing. Now, mine has way less entries, which is just fine, though, because this one we definitely wanted to do freeform. And Alex gave some great suggestions. So, and everything that we're doing now will be in the show notes. I know we're not giving as much information as we normally give about them, each individual game, but all of this information, who made it, who published it, the year it came out, all that good normal stuff, as well as links to the entry on BGG where applicable will be in the show notes. So we'll get on to my new and shiny list. These are in no specific order. First one I just got in not too long ago, and it ties into a part of the list later on in the game too. I like to tie stuff together. You know how I do. And that's going to be the G.I. Joe deck building game. So
fun. So fun.
So for those of you of a certain age, those of you who come from the 80s, those of you who come from the 60s, even. Now, this is based on the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, the art is so good for this. Yeah.
Guys, oh my goodness. Everybody.
It's a good game.
Guys, ladies, gentlemen, all of you, fantastic. So I haven't got a chance to play it yet.
Oh, I have.
I just got it.
It's so good.
But I inhaled the rule book as I was sleeving it. Mm-hmm. And in true story, it was on the table when Alex got here to record today. I had to box it up to get it out of the way.
It's so good. Played through.
Can't wait.
And
now, guys, it's in wide retail. I pre-ordered it through Renegade, but it's in wide availability retail. If you like G.I. Joe at all, by all means.
Yeah, I think this is a must if you're someone who collects G.I. Joe properties. And, if you like deck builders, this, for me, G.I. Joe deck builder game, it took all the things that I loved about DC Deck Builder Crisis and just because, Crisis is kind of an add-on for hey, we already have this
of Cerberus. Crisis is the reason why I bought it, though.
Right.
Remember? I didn't buy it until I played Crisis. That's when I bought my copy.
And so
of DC,
what this does is it says, okay, all of the things that,
Crisis was a definite improvement.
Right. Crisis took what was, just a competitive game and said, let's try and push it towards this. Well, this says from the ground up, let's take everything that worked well with Crisis and then make a game specifically designed to be played co-op.
Yes.
Or single player. Yeah. And it's real good.
Right.
It's real good.
It's really, really good, guys. It's TC Petty, the third, is on this one. Of course, Matt Hyra worked on it. This is from Renegade. I'm going to throw that out there now. I won't do that for the rest. It's probably mean. But anyway, love it. G.I. Joe deck building game. Second entry on my list, Deep Space D6 Armada. This one I just got through Kickstarter not too long ago.
Is it retail?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one should be retail too. It may be kind of hard to find, but you can find it retail. Again, it's got a nice solo component. Looks fantastic. It's got great components. I know there were some concerns about the rule books and the way that it played towards the end game, but they've already been, Tony Gold, the creator of it, is very, very responsive, and there's already been some fixes to it. But it's just a fun time, and this was one that it's brand new, and I had a good time with it. I'm like, it just made me smile, so it's very, very fun. And then the third entry for me and the last on my new and shiny list is going to be Ashes Reborn, Rise of the Phoenixborn. Which is not brand new, but this is the second edition, and it is fairly new here this year. And it's one that's got a lot of material out now for it. Actually, there's a kit, if you have the old one, where you can go in and transform your old stuff. But even if not, if you're just coming in on second edition, there's so much to buy. It looks fantastic, and it is just a blast to play with all the big chunky dice. It's a very innovative card battling system. It is a versus system, so keep that in mind. It's not one that you can do co-op, like with both Deep Space and the G.I. Joe deck building game. But it's fun, and it's new, and it made the list. When I was doing the list, I'm like, I got to put that one on there somewhere, and so the new and shiny list made it for me. I'll jump into another one.
Yeah, go for it.
Because my lists, again, aren't as long as yours, so I'll go to my thinky list. These are the ones if you want to do a little thinking. Again, it's only just 3 entries, short. I don't know why I was stuck on 3. I didn't. All of mine aren't 3, but this one is 3 also. This one we're going to start with Steamworks, which is by Tasty Minstrel, and it's not one that you've played yet. And once you play it, you're going to see why. Fantastic game. It is a tableau building game. It's smart. It's smart. You're building, it's engine building. You're literally building an engine. You're building machines for other people to use. And you want to make them enticing so that they use them, so that it helps them, but they also will help you too. And it's a point run to the end. It's beautifully produced if you can get your hands on it now with Tasty Minstrel doing what they're doing. If you can find it at a liquidated price. I haven't seen it liquidated. It wasn't on their site. They sent out an email recently. But if you can find it somewhere, by all means, pick this one up. Fantastic game. Next up, Thinky, is good old standby, Castles of Burgundy. You can get the old edition, which is just fine, or you can get the new one. It's got all of the new content and the expansions, or most of them, not all of them, built into it, more colorful. The game is still artistically challenged. I never liked this game for that reason. I like this game because it's just a really good game. So if you want to think, what you do is simple, why you do it ratchets up in intensity as you go. You know me, that's one of the wonderful, wonderful ingredients to just make just a memorable game experience. And then the last one on this list is the incomparable Maglev Metro that just dropped by Busy Air here.
Oh, yeah, I got to put that one on I'm putting that one back on my list.
That game is so good. Have you seen the expansion? They got a map expansion.
No,
I'm gonna leave it at that and let him go looking for it.
I'm not gonna put it on my list, but that should be on my this should be on my next list. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead. All right, I'm gonna dovetail into my next list, and this is the Alex approved list. So these are games that I have played, and I think that
Alex tested.
Yes,
Alex approved.
Alex tested. Alex approved. And I should have put Maglev Metro because that was definitely came out this year. So good.
Oh, it is.
It is not for everyone though. It is not for everyone.
That's why it's on the thinking list.
That's true. That's true. So it is. If you've got baby gamers, people who don't like them thick thinky games. So yeah, don't do that. All right, next. So here we go. We've got Dune Imperium. So based on the amazing movie that I absolutely love, and actually which it made me appreciate the game even more. I played the game before I had seen the movie. Of course, we played it back in August or September.
Whenever I got it, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, fantastic.
I've got maybe 4 now solo games under my belt.
Yeah, deck / worker placement game.
It's got an expansion too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
New house.
Rise of Finrix or something. I can't even remember. Eric's or something. Yeah. Okay, next up, we got this to the table about 2 weeks ago, but Eclipse, Second Dawn of the Galaxy. It is retail now. Man. Oh, man.
Is it if you want to?
Ooh, get it now. Get it now.
Miss it if you want to.
Yeah, but like if you want a giant, I mean,
This is the first game. This is episode 102. This is the first time I said this, and it's going to be the first entry on my list. This is an I told you so game. You can absolutely do this with this game. Hey, man, you want to play a game? Well, you play deeper games than I game. No, come on, sit down and play a game. Man, your game's always boring. Listen, this one's going to knock your socks off, and you're going to love it. I don't believe you. And when you finish putting this up, you will be able to look them square in the eye and say, I told you so.
Man, it's so good.
This game is that good.
Yeah, it's a bit on the expensive side, but it is absolutely worth it.
As you pull the pieces from their fingers, think, what just happened?
Yeah,
that was so amazing.
Yeah,
told you so.
Absolutely. And it plays under 3 hours. I mean, we had 5 people.
Nah, I don't care about that.
But still, I mean, which I think, but we didn't feel like we had. We actually stopped early though.
We did have to
that's
stop
true,
early.
That's right.
Well, we had a young'un with us.
Yeah. So at 14-year-old, he played great.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Oh man, so good. It's so good.
That's the card version.
Yeah, it's the card version. Yeah.
I like big boxes.
Yeah, that's fine. You can don't lie. Next up, My City from Cosmos. This is a legacy tile laying game that's similar to Tetris, but perfect for a family game. So Benjamin and Jackson, so 8 and 12, and Cynthia and I, we play this. It's a blast. Super easy. Next up for me is Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game. So this is a cooperative board game where you're rolling dice and you're trying to orient tiles so that you can, on a film set, so that you can get the perfect shot for the film. And then you have these, you've got these scene cards that come up and you want to get certain things. It's an absolute blast, especially if you like filmmaking. You can tell it was made by someone who truly does enjoy that. But it's a great cooperative experience, fun rolling dice, and unique asymmetrical powers and that kind of stuff. And the final game on my list of the Alex approved list is MicroMacro Crime City. Yeah, so giant map. You have these cases where it's basically Where's Waldo for adults.
Man.
Yeah, it's a blast.
You're gonna have to stand up.
It's an absolute blast.
Use your own magnifying glass.
Yeah, use your own magnifying glass.
In a well-lit room.
You know what? They actually just re-released this in what's called the Full House Edition. And what it does though is it says, "Hey, this case is appropriate for younger people."
Oh, cool.
So, because it does take kind of a violent turn because you're basically finding
a murder, right?
Yeah, murderers or thefts and that kind of stuff.
It's a brilliant design though, yeah, and the way it incorporates the art as the game is just fantastic. I love it. I like that one too. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. All right, let's see. I did what I do. I did Thinky and New and Shiny. Let's do Small but Mighty.
Oh.
And these could double as stocking stuffers.
Okay, cool.
Depending on the size of the stocking in your house.
It's true. You have big feet.
Oh, that was messed up.
That's not wrong, but you do have big feet.
My stocking never been on my foot though, man.
See, I wonder. I guess it's like one day.
When we was kids, we did tape socks on the thing.
Yeah, but all right, my feet got wet. So how the tradition of stocking started, your feet got wet. Let's hang them by the fire
to dry. Yeah,
and then
they washed them. Yeah,
yeah, and then ultimately what parent was like, let's hide some presents in the socks, and the kids were like, this is the greatest thing ever. Let me go tell my friends, and their parents started doing it. It
probably was because you got to imagine that was an everyday chore.
Yeah.
And they probably hated it.
It's basically like the original TikTok trend. Man, is hanging stockings.
I think this is one. I'm gonna put a shout out to all parents. So that includes myself. I think that's the parents being parents because the kids hated that chore probably. Because again, like you said, we had to wash them every night. That's why they did that. They had to wash them every night. They were washing stockings or whatever, socks or stockings or whatever every night. And they hung them by the fireplace to dry. So I mean, on top of being in a convenient place, what else does that do? At least one night a year, the kids can look forward to doing it. Changing their whole perspective about doing the chore.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the brilliance of parents right there. That's not the podcast. That's not not a bad title though. But that's not this podcast. This is the Spoken Token.
Okay, all right.
We talk about games.
You're mighty.
I'm lost.
I know. Come on back.
No, so I'm gonna
walk to the light, Larry. Walk to the light.
I know, right? I can't see. Small but mighty game. So first game on the list, again in no particular order. Railroad Inc. So you can do challenge, any other colors or any other regular original colors. You can do the small box. small boxes, those will fit in some stockings or just a nice small gift, or get the big box if you can get it off of Horrible Guild's website. It's fantastic. It'd be a fantastic value, but it's such a fun game. It's a roll and write. Just what it is, you're building railroads and cars, highway lanes as well. Rolling dice, family games, play as many people as you can sit around a table. Fantastic. Next one, Agropolis and all of its mini expansions. You haven't played that yet.
What? Yeah?
Ooh,
What's it called?
Agropolis.
Agropolis.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you need a cream for.
Oh, man, that's messed up. No, but it is also a button shot game. It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the you're building the city. It's a city builder.
Yeah.
And I played it with my Sims, and they enjoyed it. It's a blast. So it will play with new gamers and experienced gamers alike. It is fantastic, and it's a wallet game. So those of you who are familiar, the little games come in a little
this
plastic
just released
wallet.
this year, didn't it?
I believe so. Did it come out this year?
Yeah, it's 2021. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's you can get it from Button Shot. You can find it, guys. It's super cheap. Definitely a stocking stuffer, but it is so much game in those 17 cards. They did an amazing job with that one. Mm-hmm. All of the expansions are worth it because I own what I got the Kickstarter and I got all of it. So you can add that to it and still come in under like $25.
Yeah.
Or just get them the base game and they're gonna have a ton of fun with it. It's fantastic. The next one is also a wallet game, and Alex knows this one. In Vino Morte. I will never stop publishing this. This game is so amazing.
Yeah.
Just get it. You guys are at a party and you're serving wine, and you and your guests are trying to kill each other, and you're just trying to survive.
And I need to put that. That needs to go with me everywhere I go this holiday season.
It's always do. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
Well, I got the little button shot tote, which is where it belongs, and that's where it lives now. So that tote goes in the bag every time.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The last one on this particular list is one that I just got not too long ago, at least the Kickstarter version. And this one makes it a little bit bigger, but the original game or the base game is not that big, and that is the wonderful Cartographers.
Oh, yeah. Get with heroes. Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. If you get the original box is small. It is fairly small, even if you get the new box. But guys, it's so much fun. It's another roll and write where you're building, you're mapping a territory. The new one has the colored pencils, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of different card things that you can add to it that are little mini expansions. But this one is so fun. Again, you can play as many people as you want to sit in front of it and just hand them a sheet and just have a good time dealing with those cards. It is one of my favorite games of this type, which would be, I guess, a flip and write, I guess you would call it, because you're not really rolling anything. It is so good. That is Cartographers. That is it for my small but mighty list. And then I have one more list. How many lists do you have left, sir?
I have one last list.
Okay. Then you go on and do yours and I'll do mine last.
All right. Okay. So this one is basically my Etsy/Crafty list. So these are things that you can find on secondary craft websites.
Itchy and scratchy. Wait a
minute.
Not itchy
and scratchy. I can see what you did there. That's clever. I see what you did. Well played. No, Etsy. Sorry, Etsy and Crafty. So all of these things I have found on Etsy. 2 are generic, and then 2 are specific retailers on Etsy. But the first is Sling Puck, or also called Finger Hockey. So this is a pretty fast-paced game that has it's a wooden board with a divider in the middle between 2 sides. And in the middle, there is a hole in that divider. Each side of the board has a little bit of elastic, and then you have little checker chips. And what you do is you pull the checker chips into the elastic, kind of like a slingshot, and you aim for that center hole. And the idea being that you try and clear your board of as many, or of all of your checker chips before the other team does. But as soon as the other team, like, they flip it into yours, you can use that to flip it back. So this one, again, numerous people make them. I'm sure you can find them. You can find them customized and all of this kind of stuff. But it's just a really fun little kind of crokinole sort of tactile pub game, if you will. So that's a Sling Puck, or also called Finger Hockey. Next, I found this, and it is so exciting for me. But it is called, so we all know that there are stackable trays for all kinds of chits and in different pieces and cubes and all this kind of stuff. But there's a new trend in the stackable holders, and that they have these little lips where you actually, it's called a bag funnel. And so what did I say? Was it the word chit? Are you laughing at that word? It's what it is. It's an accurate. Okay. But all right. So these stackable trays, they have a lip on one corner that is made specifically to funnel the pieces back into the plastic bag. It's the first time I've seen this. And so I was very, very enamored and taken aback. I was like, oh, this is genius.
For the cleanup?
Yes, for the cleanup. So it just makes it so much simpler. Okay, the next two things that I have on my list are specific retailers on Etsy. The first is it's a company called GripMats, and what they have giant tabletop mats that are made of a specific neoprene that is really great. But one of the reasons that I put them out there is they have an excellent Eclipse mat and an excellent Twilight Imperium map. And so they're beautiful.
See the Twilight Imperium.
Yeah, they're reasonably priced, and so high quality stitching around the sides. So it is. It's definitely something to look at.
8 players.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, they have the expansions and all that stuff too. And my final company is called BoardGameBoost. So this is a company that works with basically acrylics, and they make two things. One is called the Caddy Max, which is this modular piece of plastic that can be a card holder, can be a pieces holder. You can use it to store all of your games, but it's modular. You can change it up to store cards, to do to do it all of this other way. And then they have one that's specifically for cards called the Stockade. And so they're just super cool. Really suggest checking these out if you've got someone who has a lot of things. Again, they're like $8 a piece, and they look incredibly useful.
Yeah, no, this is really cool.
Incredibly useful.
Yeah,
so
for gamers, if you've got somebody that has games, guys, just if you're walking through and you're looking at somebody's collection, like what Alex has in the shelf, or like what I have in the shelves, and if they've got shelves, just grab a quick photograph with your camera, or if you got a good memory, write some titles down, and then and don't try to figure out a new game to get them. Use this stuff that Alex is giving you, because it's listed by game and how it works with the game. And even if you don't understand it, it doesn't matter, right? Because it goes with the game. And just get them something for the game. Yeah, this stuff is really, really cool. I'm gonna give you that. That was a good find on those, brother. Those are really cool. My last list is the no budget list.
Oh Lord!
So if you don't
wait, here's my George Takei. Oh my!
So if budget's not an issue and you're just trying to get them something, I only have 4 titles on here. So we'll run down through them here pretty quickly. We're gonna lead off with one that's already been mentioned, and that's Eclipse Second Dawn. Yeah, enough said on that one. The next one is another one that I've read the book thoroughly and ready to play it, and I'm going to get a chance to play it hopefully this week coming up, and that's the one I just got through Kickstarter. It is available at retail, and that is Role Player Adventures. It is still sitting on the table in front of us. That is the game changer, sir. Yeah,
and I've read some reviews on it and such, and it's starting to really scratch some people behind the ear that get that itch.
Oh my gosh!
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Super amazing. The next one is going to be I'm going to say Dinosaur World, because I read it, and even though I like Dinosaur Island, the original, and I love it, I could put this on the list. I'm going to say World, because World is more readily, they're both still at retail. Mm-hmm. But Dinosaur World is really good, and if money's not the issue, then get it with all the expansions.
Yeah.
They're really cool. It's not necessary. I don't think you're missing anything if you don't have them. But if you're buying this with somebody without limit, it's so cool. You're going to give them so many boxes, and it does add some fun to it.
Yeah.
So Dinosaur World with expansions. My last one is it's not an oldie but a goodie, but it's older. But again, this was the one that we were going to play when we thought we had somebody coming over, and I got to explain it to the Sibs, and they were super excited about it. So if you got gamers that like to play Clue and those type of games, or deduction games, family games, move them up to the next level, and to also happens to be the gold standard of that type of game with Detective City of Angels.
Yeah.
And that's from my good friends over at Van Ryder. It does have an expansion also that you don't, again, not necessary, but it's more content. Once you start digging through these cases, you're going to want it anyway. Yeah. It's really, really, really cool. It's a really cool system.
And guys, we're not just singing the praises of Detective and Final Girl because, of our relationship with Van Ryder. I think it's important to note, like, we would tell you if these games weren't good. And these two games are genuinely...
And I haven't played Final Girl, so I didn't bring it up.
Okay, but I've
played a lot of detectives. So.
Yeah, and a lot of Hostage Negotiator.
Yes.
And this is...
Yes, Hostage Negotiator.
And so,
I'm expecting to love Final Girl. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why I didn't put it. But you're right, though, and I appreciate you saying that, because that's true. If they weren't good, we would tell you. We don't talk about the things from them that we haven't experienced yet. We've been fortunate enough to be able to experience the things before we talk about them. So that is it for my list, the no budget list. Also, remember, all of these will again be in the show notes. So go, guys, and click on these links. Go and find them. We don't use retail links, so we'll either send you to the publisher and or to BGG. We try to go to BGG with the links because we know you can find a place where, and I just don't want you to get the sales pitch if you want to find out about the game. So remember to go out there, look at our show notes, click on any of these links if you don't know any of these games. You can't go wrong with any of them. Sir, let us move on. And we are back. Mr. Alex, we know what time it is. Even though it's the list of lists, the lists keep rolling on. This list we're going to do now is not just good, it's super good. We're going to do top 3 games, just games that you should get. These are games or gaming accessories that you can get for the holidays, just overall, no category, just the top 3. You know how we do it. We distill it down. I'm going to get us started.
Wait, but you gave me a stipulation. You said I had to pick things on all the things that I just listed.
I did that.
But, okay, so out of everything we told them to get, you said here are the top 3 for you.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't follow my own rule. I did, but I didn't. No, because these were meant to be on those lists, and I just didn't add them. But I'll put them where they belong. All right. They legit should be there. I was like, no, these are
all right. So then, when you say when you count yours down, you say what list they should have been on.
I will.
All right.
Yeah, because that's legit.
All right.
So we're going to start number 3. Number 3 would have been on. Number 3. Probably wouldn't have made a list. I would have made a new category for it.
All right.
It's a folded space insert.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
For any other games that you would have done, it would have been accessories or something. You guys, just take your pick. If they've got a game, like what I told you, if you walk by and you look at the games on the shelf, go to foldedspace.com and see if they got an insert for it. If they do, slam dunk.
Yeah.
Order that thing.
Yeah.
They'll put it together and love you forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're number 3.
All right, so my number 3 is, out of all the things that I said, that I would, me personally want, stackable trays with the bagging funnel. Like, I think these are game changers for me. Because I've been using silicone muffin holder thingies, which are great because you can sort of squish them and then pour them in. But this is they're just built in there.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's your number 2?
Number 2 for me would have been on the thinky list. And you've already mentioned it. And that's another reason why I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's Dune Imperium. It's that good, guys.
Yeah.
It's that good. Just movie notwithstanding, it is fantastic.
Yeah. All right, my number 2 was a tie between Picture Perfect or Land vs. Sea. Both of these games are right up my alley as far as
interesting.
They do something completely unique than every other thing that I have on my shelf. And
always a good thing.
Yeah, and that's something I always look out for. So that's it. So, all right, your number 1.
My number 1 would have been on Small But Mighty, and it would have been and is Dinosaur Island Raw and Right.
Raw and Right.
Yeah,
the
Raw
good.
and Right. Yep. We played it. It's small-ish. It's still in a pretty good size box.
It's big. It's still big.
It's still a pretty good size box, but it's so much game.
Yeah,
there's
so
much more game than the size of the box. Once you get done with it, it is so good. So you're building a park, but it's rolling right. Everybody gets to play. You can play as many people as you want. Well, 5 people, I think. I think it actually plays 5, so it doesn't go through the roof. So that keeps it manageable, but it's so good. Yeah. So that's my number 1.
And my number 1, and this is the thing that over all the things that I personally have asked for Christmas, my number 1 thing, what I think you should get, well, actually don't get till I get my copy, and then you can get it because I don't want it to be sold out again. But that's Cubitos. I want Cubitos.
Have you already ordered that, man?
I have not, because it's on my Christmas list. Because someone might be able to get it for me for Christmas.
Place no order for 50 copies.
Don't do it, no, because it already sold out once, and now it's back in stock. But that's Cubitos. It's just, I think it's a blast. It looks so much fun. So that would be, out of everything that I put on my list, I think that's the one. That would be my number 1.
Super duper cool. So you know what? Short break to hear from our sponsors, and then we gotta. Super special segment. Okay, it ain't super special. But I really like this segment.
Well, we do it every year, so.
Well, we do it. Yeah. It's pretty topical, and I like it.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go to a break.
Okay.
We want to thank the sponsors of today's episode, our friends at Van Ryder Games.
Creators of award-winning games such as the single-player Hostage Negotiator and the One vs. Many Detective City of Angels.
You can find their full catalog of games, including their graphic novel adventures, at vanrydergames.com. That's VANRYDERGAMES.com, your FLGS, or wherever you buy your games online. And we are back with our yearly segment. You know what? It wouldn't be the list of lists without our naughty and nice list.
Uh-oh.
Yep, so we are talking about games or game companies that have made either the... Is that like your makeshift hand harmonica?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That was a little guy saying dun dun dun.
Oh, that's right. Okay, but these are games or gamers that are game companies or games that have either
Stuff in the gaming world
that have done things that are great, meritorious, or they they just deserve a lump of coal.
Yep.
They just So both Larry and I have several on each list, and so Larry, you want to go first?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I'm gonna go in the order I wrote them.
Okay, go for it.
I put my naughty list first.
Yeah, I bet you were feeling some things, weren't you?
Okay.
You were feeling some things.
I'm gonna move on through it though.
All right, go.
So number 1 is Asmodee.
Hey, they made mine.
There's been some management issues, and I know they're big, and I don't want to get belabored too much, but we're bleeding talent, and the industry is moving towards that, which we kind of knew was inevitable.
Yeah. When
they got together as big as they got, that things were going to happen, closures were going to happen, consolidation was going to happen, trying to sell themselves because it was.
Well, that's the big thing now.
It was always about profit.
Yeah,
There was no reason why they did all that together. They didn't just want the world's board games because they love them so much.
No.
And the thing is, I would have rather they said that all along.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to get it. We're gonna. This is something that's almost a thing now, but we're gonna make it an incredible thing, and then we're gonna sell it. But they didn't. Oh no, we're for the long haul.
No.
We love games, and we're ha ha ha. And it's like, dude, don't look at me and smile in my face while you're slapping me with the other hand. That's crazy. So yeah, definitely the naughty list.
For those of you who don't know, Asmodee, of course, they were purchased by an investment firm about 2 or 3 years ago, and then they went on a spending spree.
Bought up everything.
It bought up everything.
I came outside and my car was gone.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I would say probably 50% of the major publishers in the gaming world.
They represent well over that percentage in the game store, though.
Yeah.
Because of who all they bought. They was something like 85-90% almost.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And then just this, I think it was August or September. The investment firm that actually owned Asmodee, they were turning around trying to sell it. So basically,
that's what investment firms do.
Yeah, no, I understand, but it was never about the gamers. It was always about. The profit. So Larry, you made me. I loved it that you gave me that echo when I said gamers.
It was my mic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, and so all right, so there's the first one on my naughty list. So I'm gonna go to one of mine on the nice list.
That was just okay. Go.
Okay, so but no,
we've both done one.
Yes. So this is a nice list for me, and it's just because I feel bad for him. But TMG.
Oh, so
Tasty Minstrel Games. So I put thanks for all the fish because. But basically, for those of you who don't know, Tasty Minstrel, they're closing their doors. No longer as a production studio. No longer will they be making games. They're discontinuing all of their games, and they have made some of my favorite board games.
Yeah. And the quality was always top notch.
Always, and they deluxified just about everything.
Yeah, that's what they did.
And so, but great games, great components, and so I'm truly sad for the hobby. Because we're missing out on that kind of talent. Yeah. But I understand, 2021 and 2020 hit them hard.
Yeah, it was rough.
Hit them hard. Yeah. So that was...
They're on my nice list too.
Yeah, so TMG.
Okay,
right.
So that's my first one. So I'll go back to the naughty list now. Yeah. My second entry, you know what? I'm going to skip. And both of these last two kind of wordy. So let me just I'll get the game company out of the way.
All right.
So, in this, by no means, I'm not divesting in them. I'm not dumping my games or any of that stuff. But as Renegade made my naughty list this year.
That's a big deal. That's a
huge list. And the reason why they made it is because of the way that they handle when you buy stuff direct from them. Now, let me just be 100% clear. No, I have not had a problem from anybody at the company. I've not had a problem with the website. Didn't get my credit card stolen, any of that. But when I purchased the game, it was a purchase. So it's not Kickstarter. But it's well in advance. And they're telling you, hey, this is a pre-order. Great. Now, it could be that I missed it. So somebody out there legitimately, if I missed it, because I wasn't looking for it, if I missed this next statement that I'm about to say that I didn't see from them, by all means point it out to me and I will come on here and definitely issue a retraction. But it doesn't really say, hey, listen, guys, you're pre-ordering this now. It's well in advance. As soon as we get them, we're going to ship them to you, but we will be taking these to conventions before you get your copies. And they've done that now a couple of times. They've done it enough now for me to understand that that's the policy. But again, I haven't seen it anywhere. And if you're going to do that, to quote Clark, if you're going to do that, then that's fine. But let people know, let us know. So, I purchased one of the deck builders that made the list, G.I. Joe and Transformers both, and the Hunger. And I ordered the Hunger and G.I. Joe together. I got the Hunger 3 weeks ago now. No sign of G.I. Joe whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, G.I. Joe did get caught up in the whole diamond distribution fiasco.
I know they had an issue with the Bing thing, but they had tons of games at the
convention. No. But I mean, we're talking October.
Including Transformers.
Yeah, October, they were selling, like they had stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks.
Right. And I had purchased, I was one of the early, I pre-ordered Transformers like as soon as it dropped.
Yeah.
So and just for that reason, it seemed, again, it's not necessarily a nefarious thing. It's a business practice that I don't like. I think it's worth being on the naughty list because, again, like I said, clearly that's how they're going to do it. Yeah. Right. Hey guys, pre-order. Thanks for your money. This is a pre-order. This isn't a Kickstarter, but you are not getting your copies till after we get a chance to sell them at the conventions. Yeah. That deserves a naughty list nod from me. Your second naughty list.
All right. So this is my last naughty list, and that is
one more.
That's Hasbro. So Hasbro for bringing out Hero Quest. Yay. Hero Quest. I mean, there's nothing to it other than a money grab. That game is. I mean, just the amount of money it costs to buy into that for what is.
I'm so proud of you.
What is now? And I mean, basically, it's antiquated.
I'm gonna get you a game for Christmas.
Oh, that's so sweet. But yeah, I'm not in. I mean, they rode the Hero Quest hype train to the bank.
Yep.
And you know.
Yep. And again, they could have put the game out at a reasonable price. Obviously not a price commensurate to probably what it cost 50 years ago. I get that. But they could have put it out for a commensurate price that wasn't hundreds and hundreds of dollars and still made a bucket load of money.
Yeah.
You know, but they built it up like it's this big, huge thing. We're bringing it back. And then it's like you said, it's the same game, same system. Maybe they refreshed the molds and they're charging 4 times what they should be.
Yeah. So, all right, we're not even going to marinate.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to do my last naughty there. My last naughty is there've been a few of these instances that have happened. And as individuals, I'm definitely not going to get into naming them, but some of you listening to us probably know some of the situations, and there may be some more people out there that we haven't heard from yet. But abusive and divisive figures in the board gaming world are definitely on the naughty list. They have definitely shown up, from trying to bully content creators to people to game owners and management. Mistreating employees, to discriminating against folks for whatever reason. Definitely on the naughty list. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of that. I don't even suggest you go looking for it. If you don't know about it, just understand that it's there, because we're all human, for one, obviously. And even though these are board games, it's full of humans, so we're going to have those issues. But don't go looking for it. If you don't know what it is, honestly, you aren't missing anything, but it's there. Naughty list for sure. That is the end of my naughty list.
And so I have 2 more on my nice list.
Me too.
Okay, and so first, that is Colossal Games. I'm just
cool.
They just doing good stuff. I'm excited. Most excited for their finishing up their content of Great Western Legends. But what did
I was singing.
I noticed, but
it's
ultimately, the reason I think Colossal makes my list is just I cannot get over the hardbound Great Western, or not Great Western, hardbound Western Legends rulebook. I just put everything in one book. I just think it's brilliant, and that's why they're on my nice list. And so my final entry on the nice list is actually got 2 people, because it's kind of the same idea. And these both are companies that are on the nice list for their reprints of some much loved games, and that is Eggertspiel and Plaid Hat.
Nice.
Eggertspiel for putting out Great Western Trail, which I have just fallen in love with. I played it last night, and it just gets better and better. Their reprint is gorgeous and wonderful. And then Plaid Hat for Summoner Wars.
Just being awesome.
Summoner Wars is just so much fun. And just what they've done with it, just to make it ease, it's just something that is great. I'm just so excited and thankful for them for bringing such good games into the now. So that's it for my list.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, I'll do my last 2 on my nice list. Number 2 on the list is conventions. Made the nice list this year. So TGD, Origins, Gen Con. Those guys bounced back from a rough year of being virtual, but they did really good jobs. I'll put RenCon in there, even though it's not a physical one. But the things that they did to adjust to the world with the pandemic for the digital stuff, and then welcoming people back and still being, safety conscious and trying to keep people safe and putting the shows on and making sure that the retailers were able to get in there and do their thing, and that those of us who love games were able to get in there and do their thing. So they all made the nice list. So year coming back, TGD moved to a different time of the year to accommodate it, to try to get people in as soon as possible, and just makes you feel good. So all the conventions out there made the nice list. And then my last one, I think I talked about them last year. I think I put them on the nice list. But this year is not just about the one, so I added crowdfunding is my last one on the nice list. Obviously, we know how much Kickstarter has affected board games in particular, but all of the crowdfunding ones, for the most part, are doing their bit to get some really amazing games to us. They're doing really good jobs. They're refining their systems. They're trying to crack down on the fraud and trying to cut down on it. But again, they're increasingly becoming the go-to place to go and get some of these dream things done. We still got some major publishers who are doing it and trying to, do the R&D dive with the customer's money. But for the most part, it's being used for what it needs to. We're still discovering amazing new designers and developers and companies. So the crowdfundings are the company or platforms. There are several, won't name any, you know what they are the last ones on my nice list. That is it. And for the list of lists, it is time to say, wow.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. All right. It's okay. You calm down. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
So, yeah, I think that's it.
That's it, man. No, you don't have a list, like a list going out?
I mean, I do.
That's true. Okay.
I mean, it's like 19 pages, though. You want me to read through it?
No. For the spoken token.
Oh, man, he done cut me out.
I am Alex Wallace saying, keep playing.
And this is Larry Neal saying, keep communicating. This has been the Spoken Token Podcast. If you would like to interact with us, please find us at Facebook at The Spoken Token, on Instagram at The Spoken Token Podcast. Our Twitter account is at The Spoken Token. Email is thespokentokenpodcast@gmail.com. And our BGG guild number is 2656.
You are listening to a Pod Studio One Podcast Network podcast. Find more great podcasts at www.podstudio1.com.
Because see, while I was laughing earlier when you said chits, I was like, chits and biggles. It just makes me laugh.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, that ain't going in. And I almost lost it. I was like, biggles? What kind of word is biggles? Chits and biggles.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, that's pretty good. So I had to hold that one though. Yeah, we can't have that on the air. I'm just saying.